The Galactic Combat Academy had seen warriors from 1,000 worlds, but none like Cadet Marcus Chen. He stood at the arena's entrance, a human, one of the infamous Deathworlders whose planet boasted gravity that would crush most species, predators at every turn, and weather capable of killing in minutes. Across the crystalline floor, Warlord Crothex waited. The Apex champion had never been defeated. His 4 arms rippled with bio-enhanced muscle, each hand capable of crushing Duralloy. His exoskeleton gleamed obsidian black, scored with victory markings from 300 battles across the Orion sector. He stood 9 feet tall, dwarfing the human cadet who barely reached 6 feet. The stadium held 20,000 spectators from across the galaxy. They had come to witness tradition, the ceremonial combat between the Academy's top graduating cadet and the reigning Apex Warlord. It was meant to be educational, a demonstration of the gap between student and master. No cadet had lasted more than 30 seconds in living memory. The humans had only joined the Galactic Council 5 years ago, after their world was discovered by a survey team. The surveyor's report had been classified immediately. Earth, they wrote, was a Class 12 death world, the highest rating ever recorded. Its inhabitants had evolved under conditions that would constitute a war crime if artificially created. Marcus stepped onto the arena floor. He wore no armor, only the Academy's standard combat suit. He carried no weapons. The rules were simple, first to yield or first to incapacitation. Lethal force was prohibited, though accidents happened. Crothex studied the human with his compound eyes. He had reviewed the species file. Persistence hunters who could run their prey to exhaustion. Omnivorous pack animals with pattern recognition that bordered on prescience. A species that had somehow thrived on a world actively trying to kill them, then turned around and conquered it. The attending master, a crystalline Methodian, raised 3 of her limbs. Combatants ready? Marcus nodded once. Crothex clacked his mandibles in affirmation. Begin. Crothex moved first, as he always did. His species could accelerate to attack velocity in 0.3 seconds. He closed the 20-meter distance in a blur, all 4 arms extending for a devastating combination that had ended countless matches. He found empty air. The human had moved, not away, but laterally and forward, inside Crothex's reach. It was suicide to close distance with an Apex warrior. Everyone knew this. What happened next took 17 seconds. Marcus's hand struck Crothex's primary shoulder joint with precise force. The warlord felt something he hadn't experienced in decades: pain. The human had found the microscopic gap in his exoskeleton plating, a structural necessity known only to Apex physicians. Before Crothex could counter, the human moved again. Not with the explosive speed of enhanced species, but with fluid efficiency, each movement minimal and exact. Marcus ducked beneath a retaliatory strike and drove his elbow into another joint. Crothex stumbled. Impossible. His balance was computer-assisted. The human's foot swept behind the warlord's knee at the precise moment Marcus's shoulder struck his center mass. Crothex toppled backward, the human following him down. In ground combat, Crothex held every advantage: strength, reach, mass. But the human wasn't fighting strength against strength. Marcus's arm snaked around the warlord's neck, not squeezing but positioned with surgical precision against the carotid artery analog. Crothex tried to rise. His secondary arms reached back to dislodge the human. Marcus shifted his weight, and suddenly Crothex's own strength worked against him. The pressure on his artery increased. 30 seconds had elapsed. Crothex's vision began to darken. He had 3 choices: continue until unconsciousness, risk permanent damage fighting free, or yield. 47 seconds. Yield, Crothex rasped. Marcus released immediately, rolling away and extending a hand to help the warlord up. The arena sat in absolute silence. Crothex accepted the hand, rising slowly. He looked at the human with new understanding. Humans didn't win through superior strength or speed. They won through adaptability, pattern recognition, and the accumulated knowledge of surviving on a world that had spent millions of years trying to make them extinct. Your species, Krothek said quietly, are terrifying. Marcus smiled. We just call it Tuesday.